Okay, this is how we're going about making a Viking hat, and I'm using a 44 peg CinDwood half gauge loom, but I'm going to kind of give you good guidance on how to adjust this pattern and things to keep in mind. The number of rows generally stays the same. And the solid rows stay the same. So these solid rows in here stay the same. Where it gets complicated are these spots here, and the thing to keep in mind, it's in sets of 5. And so for the most part in sets of 5, even with this, it works. It's only off on the last one, and instead of it being 3, there's only 2 columns. So you want to keep in mind when you're doing an adjustment to a different loom that it's a 5 peg set, 2 of the gray, 3 of the brown. And when you do that and you transfer it, just keep that in mind. You will either have more or less of these spots. What you want to keep in mind on next is you're going to have the sections that come up and back, and you're going to divide the loom into 4 sections. And as you can see my connecting 4 sections there. And what we're doing is you're going to have to angle it this way, and this is going to be your back and front of your Viking hat. So that's how you know how to split this up. And then to split one section up even more. So you're going to have, on this one, you're going to have 11 pegs as a quarter of it. And you're going to put 1 gray on one end, 1 gray on the other end, and then fill in the rest with brown. And then on the sections where you want to add another, let's see if I can show it, silver square like that, then you'll know that you'll want to split that brown in half, and you'll have 3 pegs. 3 pegs on one side, 3 pegs on the other side, and 3 in the middle. So you want to kind of split that in half into either 3 or 2 pegs, and that's another way to keep in mind. And there's going to be a single row in between starting that. There's going to be a single row in between starting that, and then after you do that, it's 3 rows of the brown. So that's kind of a general guideline on how to translate this into different size looms. And we're fixing to start separating the loom into 4 complete sections where we're not working on it all connected. We're going to start separating it. We're going to do 2 panels from the front and back, and then we're going to do a rounded side bit. And this is going to smooth the whole top and give it a specific look. So what we're going to do is focus on the first, and we're going to be counting this one as part of our separation. We want just the brown as the side bits. So because this has the gray square, it's our straight bit. And we're going to take both the grays on both ends, and this is going to be our section that we're going to be working on only. And that's going to be, I believe, 13 pegs. So go ahead and pick up your gray, and you're going to purl 2. Then you're going to pick up your brown, E-wrap 3, pick up your gray, E-wrap 3, pick up your brown, E-wrap 3, Pick up your gray and purl 2. Now you're going to go back the direction you came. You're going to purl 2. And then you're going to wrap 3 brown, and you're going to pick that gray up, purl 3, pick the brown up, wrap 3, and pick the gray up and purl 2. And again, you're going to go back again, the direction we came. Purl 2, wrap 3, purl 3 in the gray, got the brown, wrap 3, pick up the gray, purl 2. Going back the direction we came. Purl 2. Wrap 3. Wrap over that gray, wrap 3 more brown, pick up the gray and purl 2. And back the direction you came. Purl 2. Wrap all the way over. To the other side. Pull the gray over, purl 2. Go back the direction you came. You wrap all the way over. And then pick that up and purl. Okay, we've just completed a set of rows, and what you want to do is complete another set of that many rows where you start off with the gray square, complete another set of that many rows, and then cast off in the silver or gray. Then you're going to go directly to the opposite side here where the other gray square is, and repeat the exact same thing that you did over here. So go ahead and pause the video and get both those sections done, and then I'll show you how to go about completing these side areas, so that what we can do is go in and connect everything. Let's go ahead and pause the video and complete that much, and then we'll go from there. I have completed both this section and this section. Next we're going to do the side sections where we'll sew it and connect it. So I've gone ahead and done me a slip knot and put my first loop there. So I'm going to E-wrap over a full 9. Then I'm going to decrease by 1 on each side. And E-wrap. E-wrap again. Decrease by 1 on each side. E-wrap. And E-wrap. And then cast off as you would. You'll repeat the same thing on the other side. Go ahead and pause the video and complete the same thing on this side, and then I'll show you how to sew up the hat, and then we'll go from there on a video link to how to add in the horns. Okay, now that we have completed everything, what we're going to do first off is sew the two ends like this together. I'm going to sew it up. And then what you're going to do is you're going to sew the side area around onto it on each side, and that's going to close it up. And that's how you're going to close at the top of the hat. After that, you'll want to sew in your horns on this space on the side, on each side. And you're going to want to do small horns. So, again, this is just generally how you go about making a Viking hat. So go ahead and sew it up, and then make you some horns, which I'll provide a link for the small horns. You're just not going to do the base. You're just going to go ahead and not need the yellow, but go ahead and just do the small part of it. So you'll skip that and do an E-wrap cast on and everything, but you'll want to do the small horns from the link I provide, and then sew those in, and then you're done. That's how you make the Viking hat.